Tourism is one of the biggest and most powerful industries in the world, moving around hefty amounts of money. In 2016, over 1.3 billion international tourists spent an estimated $1.4 trillion US. That's the equivalent of Australia's gross domestic product, dispersed around the world. With all this economic power, the industry could really be a force for good. The UN has even declared 2017 the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development, suggesting the role of international travel in reducing poverty. But how much global tourism money really makes its way to poor countries? Today, on The Travel Insider, we'll analyse whether tourism has proven to deserve this hero cloak. Let's go to the information. Researchers from Griffith University and the University of Surrey came up with a way to find out. The Global Sustainable Tourism Dashboard. The dashboard was launched in January 2017 to measure tourism's impacts and contribution to the UN's 2015 to 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Among other sustainability-related indicators, it can determine whether tourism is really redistributing wealth by tracking how much travel money arrives in the world's least developed countries and small island developing states, which in conjunction amass around 14% of the global population. Yet in 2016, these countries saw just 5.6% of global international tourism expenditure. And if we take Singapore out of the mix, it falls to 4.4%, just $62 billion out of the $1.4 trillion spent worldwide on travel in 2016. The dashboard shows what most of us have concluded long ago. Global tourism is an economic exchange between rich countries. Citizens of 10 nations, most of them in Europe and North America, make about half of all of international travel. China, which in 1995 was not a member of this frequent flyer club, broke into the top 10 in 2000. If the share isn't great, the total amount of traveller money spent in these countries is still substantial. $79 billion in 2016 alone. This is as much as the foreign aid budget of the US, Germany, UK and France combined, based on figures from the World Economic Forum. But money alone doesn't reduce poverty. If it did, Thailand, the world's fourth most popular tourism destination, would be rich. Whether a cash injection turns into development depends on many well-studied factors. For example, less developed countries lack the critical goods and services that tourists require, leading to what economies call leakage. When a country must import everything from generators and solar panels to certain kinds of food, it spends a considerable proportion of tourist dollars before they can multiply in the local economy. Part of the broader leakage problem is that tourism investors are often foreign, so the profits are expatriated. Cruise lines are notorious for this. Ships may well visit a dozen small islands developing states on any given marine jaunt, but most of the profit goes back to headquarters, which are typically located in Western countries. Governments can reduce leakage by thinking strategically about procurement, emphasizing local business development, integrating supply chains, and investing in education and training to prepare workers for tourism jobs. Making sure that visitor dollars benefit local people also depends on the commitment of foreign-owned companies, particularly hotel groups, to partner with and invest in local communities. Individuals also have a role to play by making ethical travel choices. Tourists visiting developing countries can maximize the community benefits of their trip by going local on everything from food and tour companies to craft purchases. Opting for certified responsible companies and simply by asking the right questions may also send an important signal over time that tourists care about their impacts. Tourism will never end poverty. But if governments, industries and consumers start paying attention, they can make it a force for change. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media and leave a comment to let us know what you think.